Are you ready to unlock growth, build resilience, and confidently take the next step in leadership, career, and faith? Welcome to The Next Move. I'm Orvin Kimbrough, a CEO, author, and leader with a passion for helping people and organizations thrive. My journey from foster care to CEO has fueled my mission to help professionals scale their confidence, leadership, and influence through mindset shifts, expanded networks, and bold action. Each week, I'll share reflections ripped straight from my blog to inspire and empower you with actionable insights. Let's get started and make your next move your best move. Hey friends, welcome back to the show. Let me start with a question that might just stop you in your tracks. What would your 8-year-old self think of you today? Would they be proud? Would they be surprised? Would your 8-year-old self be disappointed? Would they even recognize you? I've been sitting with that question lately, not as a guilt trip, but as a soul check. Because sometimes the best way to measure how far we've come is to ask the younger version of ourselves if we've forgotten what they used to dream about, or if we've gone further than they ever thought possible. So today I want to take you back, not to stay there, but to see clearly, to remember, to reconnect with something you might not even realize you've lost. When I was 8 years old, my idea of fun was throwing rocks in alleyway battles. You got it right, rock fights. Food was always on my mind, not snacks for pleasure, but meals for survival. I wasn't dreaming of boardrooms. I wasn't dreaming of national commissions or leading complex organizations. I was just trying to make it through the day. I remember those nights, cold, hungry. I remember those nights staring at the empty oven that was used to heat our apartment. I wondered, is this it? Is this all life has for me? I didn't have the language for vision, but I had daydreams. I imagined something different. Not better, just different. Second grade was hard. I missed a lot of school. And when I was there, I struggled. My teacher, her name was Miss Vaughn. She made the decision to hold me back. And honestly, today I'm grateful she did, because I wasn't ready. I needed someone to actually see me. I needed someone to just slow things down just a bit so I could catch my breath. Back then, my world was narrow. I saw life through a small TV screen. Characters like Eric Estrada on Chips, J.R. Ewing on Dallas. But even then, there were unspoken rules. Come on now, you know. People like me didn't get to be JR. People like me didn't get to sit at those tables. At least that's what I thought. That's what I was exposed to. That's what I was supposed to believe. But here I am. I lead. I sit on boards. I speak into systems that once tried to silence me. Folks, I've built a life of purpose. I've built a life of influence, one of impact, not because I always believed it was possible, but because I held on to one thing outside of my faith, and that was imagination. See, exposure is powerful, but when you don't have exposure, imagination becomes essential. If you can create it in your mind, you can carry it in your heart. And what you carry in your heart, guess what? You can bring into the world. Every good outcome starts as a dream that someone dared to believe in. I get emotional when I think about how far I've come, not because I'm surprised I made it, though I am surprised that I made it this far, but because for so long I didn't even know where I was going. I just knew I had to keep moving. I had to keep going. And let me be honest, there were moments in the boardroom, moments leading big efforts, moments when I still feel that whisper from the 8-year-old me. That whisper, this room wasn't built for you. But in those moments, I remember something powerful. That little boy survived worse. That little boy, he had no title, he had no degree, he had no spotlight, but he had vision, he had hope. Through public victories and private struggles, I've stayed the course, and I think that's what I'm most proud of. I'm not proud of the accolades. It's not even so much the success, but the fact that I didn't quit, that I kept walking. I kept walking even when I couldn't see the path. So let me turn this back to you. What would your 8-year-old self think of you today? Would they be proud? Would they be surprised by how far you've come? Would they even recognize the person you've become? Maybe your version wasn't food insecurity. Maybe it was feeling overlooked. Maybe it was feeling unseen. Maybe it was feeling misunderstood. Maybe it was growing up fast in a household that didn't know how to nurture dreams. But I'll bet you this, I bet you still remember what it was like to dream without limits. I know this. The little boy in me would marvel. He'd whisper, "We did what?" He'd remind me that this journey was never just about ambition, it was about faith. This journey, it was about holding on to something better. This journey was about believing that something better could be real. Our lives weren't designed just for climbing ladders. Our lives were designed, they were meant to become ladders for someone else's climb. Did you catch that? For someone else's climb. You might be feeling stuck right now. You might feel undervalued. You might even be undervalued. You might be off course. You might be tired, but hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. Tomorrow, my brother, tomorrow, my sister, is a new day. And the world, well, the world still needs what you have to give. The world still needs your vision. The world still needs your voice. The world still needs your story. Someone else's imagination is waiting. It's waiting on your example to wake theirs up. So here's what I'll leave you with today. What would your 8-year-old self be proud of? What would they be disappointed by? And most importantly, what would they dare you to imagine next? You've come further than you think. Now imagine what could happen. Imagine what could happen when you lead from that little kid's courage. Because someone somewhere is watching you. They're watching you. And they are learning how to dream. They're learning how to think. If this episode stirred you, if it stirred anything in you, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment, send me a message, or share this with someone who might need the reminder. Until next time, keep imagining, keep showing up, and keep building the kind of life your younger self would never stop dreaming about. Peace and purpose to you always. Until next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Next Move. I hope today's reflection inspired you to take the next step in your leadership, career, or faith journey. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement this week. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like more reflections or resources, visit orvinkimbrough.com or theaccidentalbanker.com. Until next time, remember, every step you take brings you closer to thriving. Let's keep moving forward together.